Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to Map Making with me, BonBonB. I'm BonBonB, and of course you are very, very welcome. Last week's episode, I apologise, I came back against the same old problems with the old darkness, and I never have managed to pin it down exactly. I think it's Daylight Classic, but I can't prove it. I've tried to prove it to myself, but I just cannot get my head around exactly what's causing the problems. The good news is today we have no such problems, which means I'm going to start with a little bit of rock detailing today. In fact, the whole of today's show will be with these new rock assets that came with the Park Life DLC. These are patched, so you don't need the DLC. You will get these regardless. So if you haven't had a look at your rock assets lately, go and have a look. There are a few very nice ones, and these will make some very nice cliffs indeed. I want to try and avoid as much as possible using the creator assets. Yes, I will dip in and I will be using them more so than I did for Merrickstowe in this particular map. But the more that I can do some good quality work, and I say that very lightly because I have no guarantee that it's going to be good quality in the end, we will have a look. We'll judge it when it's finished, guys, okay? Anyway, yeah, I'm switching over to move it now because I can't place these rock assets because of the lighthouse in the way. So I tried switching on and off prop and tree anarchy, but it didn't make any difference. So move it is everybody's friend. It'll allow you to do pretty much anything you like. So there we are. Right, so where were we? Yes, so I'm going to try and stick to as many vanilla assets as possible to start off with. And then once that's done, have a look and see what needs freshening up, tidying up, more beautification and all that kind of stuff. And what assets I really need to add. I'm thinking sort of like Avania's got some very nice rock faces that we can put in, but do we need them? And there's the thing. If I can get away with not using them, as nice as they are, it'll be one less requirement for the map, and it'll suit a few of you to have one less thing to subscribe to, especially those of you with like a weaker PC. Right, anyways, so what am I doing today? Yes, I'm starting off on the Lighthouse Island, which was the last thing that we were able to do, and did a little bit of detailing, putting a lighthouse and the jetty on here. Yes, vanilla, and yes, I might upgrade. Oh, here I am, looking at caves. The 3 caves came with this, came with the update, and honestly, I'm not sold on any of them, to be honest with you. This one particular was way too big. I had a look at this one. This one's a bit better for my needs. I thought maybe have it as like a bit of a sea cave, but then there was trees in the entrance, and you know, short of removing the trees, which can be done. No, I'm not going down that route. I'm not popping in a sea cave. There's no need for it. It's a bit of extra detail that wasn't really required, and it wasn't going to be that easy. So anyway, I ignored that one. Right, now I'm building up some rock texturing and trying as best I can to have it look fairly realistic. Now, what you'll see by the end of the show is not how it's going to finish. And we haven't even started looking at tree detailing. And again, tree detailing I'm leaving until later because I really want to know what sort of trees I'm going to be adding, what good vanilla trees we've got to play with, and then I'll be using something like the generic tree pack or something like that. And then so I really want to pop in some really nice trees as well without going overboard. It's very easy to go overboard on these things. But yeah, Mr. Maison's got some very nice trees. P. Delmo's got some very nice trees, and there are other tree makers as well who are making some very nice trees. And I really want to have, like I say, a good old look at the actual environment before I start looking at what specific trees I want to place down. But yes, vanilla for starters. Right, I'm going to leave a little bit of gap in the rocks here. I figured a little bit of a secondary beach area for you to be able to pull like a rubber dinghy up. Sorry, but our main entrance to this island will be this little cove with the jetty. Let's say these rocks are large. They are really quite large, and we will come back later on and do some cleaner detailing with rocks. There are smaller rocks we can play with as well, obviously. We'll do some cleaner detailing, and also we'll get in amongst these rocks as well, because I'm placing them down like this to try and make them look as like I say, as real as possible. But there will be some crags that look quite, because I'm using the same rock over and over again, some bits might look a little bit too repetitive, and I figured the best way to get rid of that is to go along and basically pop a rock in again at a different angle, fill it in with a different shape of rock like this, like I'm doing right now. It's just trying to take out some of these bits that look just a little bit too placed, and just fill in some spaces. But yes, now that's basically going to be the whole episode, is going to be me. Now I tinker around with a few of these larger rocks now. I think these are a little bit too big for the fine detailing, but here and there around the cloth faces, not the cloth faces, the rock faces, I figured that would not be too bad. It's just finding the right ones and rotating them in the right angle that kind of looks okay. And I figured that one looks okay like that. So yeah, so we've got a few little beaches and sandbars around there. And now the placement of the lighthouse, I wanted it a little bit closer to the edge. But as you're moving it around, it does kind of like move the landscaping slightly. So it's just finding the exact best position. Now I've gone to free cam view, just making sure that that looks good to me. It's not had its view obscured. And then I start the time just to get rid of the water. It's been plopping down rocks into the still water, and now it's just finding its level again. There'll be a small tidal wave hit places in a few minutes, but let's not worry about that. Now onto the mainland, and this mainland is the main island. It's not actually the mainland. The whole thing is an island, and this is the high point of the island. We've got a little bit of a cliff face going around the outside of this as well. Now this one's going to take, we will be coming back to this a lot more than the Lighthouse Island, I feel. This one, at the end of the episode, I feel it just looks a little bit too, I don't know, generic. I hate to say, a little bit too forced. And so we will be coming back and doing a lot more work to, apologise for the sound of the ambulance going past. There she goes. Yes, I live quite close to a main road, and I suffer from this a lot. An awful lot. You won't believe the amount of times I have to re-record sequences, especially within WhatsApp. But today's episode, I'm not that worried about. Not too worried about at all. Right, so anyway, yes, where were we? We're building rock faces, cliff faces. That one's not quite how I wanted it. So I'll get rid of that. I'll turn it, fit it in a bit better, like so. Yeah, this is going to be one of the feature points on the entire island, this particular high-rise. Now place some rocks here, and we've lost some of the terrain. I tried filling it in with rocks, but that hasn't happened. So what I've done now is I'm going to delete some of these rocks, just to be able to correct the terrain back to where it was, and then just try and do it in a different system. First of all, oops, yep, not that setting, this setting, that's more like it. Okay, let's fix this. Delete the rocks. Now we're back where we were. Replace the rocks, only this time do it like that, like properly. Like properly. That's a much better job. Much better job, Bonbon. Deary me, you should be ashamed of yourself. Anyway, where were we? Yes, so, yeah, this is going to be one of those feature points. A few of you have speculated what might be going on the top of this hill. It might be obvious to a few of you that what it's going to be, but I'm still not going to say, and you know, I don't want to spoil the suspense. The suspense might be killing you, and I don't want to save your life just yet. No, none of that. So yeah, like I say, these cliff faces, they look a little bit forced at the moment. You can see the pattern of the same sort of like design going along there, and I'm just trying to fill in a few of these cracks just to take some of the pattern away. Having said that, we will come back and tweak it a little bit more a little bit later on, and there's plenty more work to be done on these rock faces. On top of that, there's plenty more rock faces to build as well. It's going to be quite a rocky, craggy part to the islands, these areas here. But there will be other parts of the island that are quite low-lying, quite sandy, floodplainy even. And of course, this is because those of you who've been watching the series will know I'm intending for this map to be, well, there'll be 2 versions of it, and one of the versions will be to work with TPB's Tides mod. I'm not going to be doing too much work with the lowlands just yet. I figured let's start high and work down, because the variance between the Tides map and the generic map, the map that most people will be able to play. What you're looking at now is the map with the high tide mark, and this is what will be the base map. If you don't want to have the Tides mod, this is what you'll be working with. But if you want a Tides mod, that tide will go out some way. And we'll be doing a lot of work with the uncovered seabeds, and there'll be a lot of rock placement down there as well in later episodes. So something to look forward to. I have no idea if it's going to work. I honestly have no... I know a lot of you look to me and go, ah, he's the map man. Yeah, I might be the map man, but how many maps have I built? How much experience do I actually have in making maps? And the answer is not a lot. Just the one map, well received, and one that I look back on now, and there are things that I would definitely change about Merrickstowe. There are things I would definitely change with the cool head now of giving it a chance to settle, and the excitement of, oh, everything was so good. I mean, there were some things I was really proud about, things I really enjoyed doing with Merrickstowe, like making the sundial on top of what was the name of that hill? It was Tempora Hill. That's the one. Tempora being time, obviously, and putting a sundial on top of Time Hill made a lot of sense. Anyway, yes, that's probably how I came up with the name for Tempora. Also, like the lake. The lake. Okay, it's not a particularly realistic lake when you go back and have a look at it geographically and geologically even, and say, is that lake realistic? And I think somebody commented on that as well and said it doesn't look real. That's not how lakes work. And quite right too. Absolutely quite right too. Having said that, there is that breathtaking moment when you drive round that corner and that lake just suddenly appears. I was really pleased with that one. But yeah, there were a few things that I would go back and change as well, like the dry river. I would have made it a little bit more, a little bit easier to get that up and running again without having to demolish things. And yeah. So anyway, yeah, but that's the old map. This is the new map. I started talking about the old map because I'm running out of things to say about here, because this is literally a day with just placing down those rocks, half an hour of rock placement here. And I can't wait to get back next week and do some more work and get some more. I mean, next week will probably be even more rock placement, even more. Just trying to get the feel of the levels of the hills and just where things are going to go. And then once all that's done, that's the point. The fun begins with the trees. We all know that, because it's the trees that bring the map to life. Unless, of course, you're working with maybe like a desert map or a tundra map, in which case maybe not the case. But yeah, if you're working with a good geographic... No, here we go. Now going just a little fly through to finish the episode here, looking at work we've done. But yes, if you're working with a good map shape, that's half the battle. But if you've got some good tree coverage, just makes you want to come in and build on it, and that's what's going to happen there. Anyway, down here we'll have a look at the little Lighthouse Island with the jetty, with a little walk up on the grass. I'll be working a little footpath into that area there, but not a actual footpath, but like a detailed footpath with the trees and the plants and the general assets and stuff like that, just to lead up to the lighthouse. That's how that's going to work. But we might end up putting the footpath in there full stop anyway. You never know. I reserve the right to change my mind. A little bit of water glitching, that surprised me when I saw that, but we could always come back and have a go at fixing that later. Anyways, so that is about it for today. Oh, that 15 minutes flew by, didn't it? My voice wittering on in the backgrounds. Anyway, thanks for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. Don't forget to join me Monday to Saturday for What's Map, every Sunday for the chart show, plus usually a tutorial or two as well. And then we've got Train Fever, and we've got Far Loan Sales, and we've got the monthly map chart show, and so much going on. Please don't go away. Thanks for watching. Bye now.